Chapter number 10, it is exception handling in Java programming, our part number 2. In the first part, we will discuss different exception handlings, right? What is exception, right? After that, today in this session, we discuss some other points related to the exception handling in Java programming. It is a 6 marks chapter. 6 marks multiple choice questions comes in the board exam, right? And it is 5 marks practical. So let's start chapter number 10. First, exception handling. How to handle exceptions in the Java programming. The keywords, the 3 keywords are given. First, it is try, second one, it is catch, and the third one, it is finally. And so, this are the use in the presence of exceptions. These keywords represent the block of statements in the Java programming. So, first one, what is that first one? It is the try block. It contains the code that may give rise to one or more exceptions in the Java programming. Then the second one, it is a catch block. In that contains the code that is intended to handle exceptions of a particular type that were created in the associated try block. And the third one, it is a finally block. It is in that always executed before the program ends, and regardless of whether any exceptions are generated in the try block or not. After that, first we learn this try block in the Java programming or in the object-oriented programming languages, right? And the try block, it contains a block of statement within brackets. Right? Curly bracket is used in the Java programming, right? And this is the code that has to be monitored for exceptions. If you want to monitor your exceptions in the Java programming, then we use this try block. Right? If the problem occurs during its execution, an exception is thrown. Each type of problems or the exceptions corresponds to an object in the Java programming. Right? A try block may give rise to one or more exceptions in the Java programming. Right? And the syntax is given here, and you have to use the syntax and that use the try block. Right? Start, write the try keyword, then curly bracket and set of statements that may generate one or more exceptions. After that, close the try block by using curly bracket. In short, if you want to monitor for exceptions, then you have to use this try block. Okay. Next one. It is a catch block. So what is in that catch block? The catch block must immediately follow the try block. Then it contains the code that is to be created to handle an exceptions. If you want to handle the exceptions or the error conditions, then we use this catch block. Okay, the catch block, it is an exception handler for a single try block. There can be one or more catch blocks, right, as per the Java program. Right? What is your Java program? And if you want to catch one or more blocks, right? The syntax of the catch block, it is given in this screen, right? So this is the try block started. After that, curly bracket, set of statement that maybe generate one or more exceptions, and then write a catch block, right? Write catch keyword and exception type or exception object you have to add, and then add code to handle that exceptions. Which code you have to handle, right, that you write in this block. and then close this catch block. Right? So a catch block consists of the keywords catch followed by the single parameter, and the code to handle the exceptions has to be written between the parentheses. Right? So this is about catch block, and after that last and if you want to add the multiple catch blocks, right, then the option is given in this Java programming. So one try block and number of catch blocks you generated. Okay, so if you want to use multiple catch blocks, then in the single program multiple exceptions can be occur. Right? For instance, of if the particular file has to be uploaded to the remote computer, and it may be lead to two distinct exceptions, and exceptions may occur if the file is not present in the computer, or another exceptions may occur if the computer is not connected to the network. Right? So you're going to connect your file with the remote file, right? And but the connection is not available, the network is not available. How you can convert or how to connect it? Okay? So it will generate one or more exceptions. Okay, so there is a provision in the Java programming to support the multiple exceptions, right? And the code that generates the exceptions should be written within a try block. And apart from this, can be multiple catch blocks to handle each type of exception separately. Right? So here one diagram is given, that exception handling mechanism with the multiple catch blocks. Right? Create exceptions, exception handlers, block 1 and catch block 2. Okay. Then the third and very important block, that is the finally block. Okay, so what is in this finally block? The finally block is generally used to clean up the end of the executing a try block. Okay. What is that? It is generally used to clean up the end of executing the try block. And the finally block is used when the programmer wants to be sure that some particular code is to be run, no matter what exceptions are thrown within the associated try block. And this finally block, it is always executed regardless of whether or not exceptions are thrown during the execution of associated try block. And the finally block, it is widely used if a file needs to be closed or critical resources is to be released at the completion of the program. And so here the syntax is given. The syntax of the finally block is given below. Right, finally start the curly bracket and then clean up the code to be executed last. After that, write the statements within the block always get executed, even though if runtime errors terminate the program abruptly. Right, then you use this finally block. Okay, so this is about try block, catch block, multiple catch blocks, and the finally blocks. After then next one is the thrown statement. So what is in the thrown statement? Is the keyword, and we use three keywords, that is try block, try catch, and finally. And the throw keyword, it is used to explicitly thrown and exception objects. Here in this example, the program that have been done so far, the Java virtual machine create an exception object and was thrown it automatically. For example, an object of arithmetic exceptions was created when one try block tries to perform a divide by 0, right, an operations, and it is thrown automatically by the Java virtual machine. Right? So this is the full form of Java JVM. Right? So Java does not provide the mechanism to create an exception object and throw it explicitly. Right? The object that one throws must be typed. You have to type this Java dot lang dot thrownable. The object of the throwable class or any of its subclasses. Right? So you have to write a class and its subclasses. Otherwise, compile error is occur. Right? So you must be type this right in that statement, right, in your Java program, right? And the syntax is given. The syntax thrown an exception object. It is followed, right? Thrown space exception underscore object and semicolon. Right. So this way you define it. That's throw statement. Right? Okay. How to create custom exceptions? Yeah, this facility is also given in the object-oriented programming. Right? How to create a custom exceptions. You can generate your custom exceptions in the Java program, right? Or any other Java programming, object-oriented programming based programming languages. Okay, so Java allows creating own exception classes according to the application specific problem. Right? So if you create a program, right, or if you create a application. Right? So application specific problems you can generate it. Right? So that facility is given here in the Java program. For instance, in the program which generates a mark sheet, and the user is asked to enter marks of different subjects. Right? So marks must be in the range of 0 to 100. Right? And suppose the user enters negative marks in your application or your program, right? Or the value which is above 100, that is not in this range, right? Not in the 0 to 100. Marks must be in the range of 0 to 100, right? So the value which is above 100 or in the minus negative marks, then the program must generate an exception. Right? So such kind of exceptions are application specific. Right? So if you create a tailor-made program or application or software, and then custom exceptions are used. Okay, Java does not provide built-in exceptions classes for application specific exceptions, and user-defined exceptions can be created by creating a subclass of exception class. Right, so you have to create a subclass, and that is exception class, right? And these exceptions can be thrown explicitly using the throw statement. Right? However, it is required to catch this exception and handle it accordingly. Right? And additional class is required to create custom exception. Additional class you have to create, right? So the class that is invalid mark exception, extend exception class in the Java.language packet, right? So you have to create this type of class that is invalid mark exception, right? And it contains the single parameter constructions that accept string to describe the type of error. Means in the main program, the business logic is coded as our application specific, right? And that ensures whether the marks are in the range or not, right? So we define that the range is 0 to 100. Marks must be 0 to 100. If user enter negative mark or above 100, then this type of invalid mark exceptions runs. Right? if the marks is not in the range, the object of the type invalid mark exception, it is created and then it is thrown. So when you use this exception handling, right, then the number of advantages are there, right, for the programmer. So a good program must always handle exceptions rather than the program being terminated abruptly, right? And few advantages of the using exception handling in Java programs are given here. We discuss one by one. Okay, it allows maintaining normal flow of program. Okay? And in the absence of exception handling, the flow of program is disturbed. Right? When you not add exception or exception handling, right, that program terminates abruptly. Right? So user cannot understand why this type of error comes in your software or application. Right? So that's why you have to add exceptions, right, and exception handling related you have to add. Okay, then it allows writing separate error handling code from the normal code. Right? Error types can be grouped and differentiate within the program. Right? So what type of error comes, and based on that you generate error. Right? So that is the very important point, right, for the programmer. Individually you create, or the group wise you create error, right? And SSNs can be used to debug the program before deploying it to the client, and it provides an easy mechanism. It is the easy mechanism to log the various runtime errors while executing the program. So these are the number of advantages of the exception handling. So we use it at regular basis, and if you want to create a good program, right, or a good application at a time, we use these exceptions, right. So this is a very important chapter if you want to create a program or application, right? Okay students, thank you very much.